What I need people to do is be respectful with it. That's all I need to do. Just be respectful. Y'all can bag me all you want.
Yeah,
Be respectful.
they better respect the game. That's right. Better
Be
respect what's
respectful.
going on around
The
here.
Boston last lost a game 38 days ago and 10 wins. Like, you're allowed to have an off night after you've won 10 in a row, especially in the playoffs, let alone in a regular season. And that's like winning 25 in a row in the regular season.
That's a
I don't
fact.
want
You
to
better let them know. Let them know. Listen, Rise Up Late Night coming up. Yeah, make sure y'all like and share right now. Matter of fact, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do this thing right now. We're gonna like and share before we hit that intro video. We're gonna make sure we like and share this mother straight up. All right. Friday night, Saturday morning. Here we go on the late night patrol for sure. And you heard his voice in the background. We got more coming up too. Don't worry. Don't worry. This is about to be a thing today. We're about to have a little fun today for sure. All right. So make sure you like and share this. Yo, Will,
Yes, sir.
that joint was so nice.
What?
We gonna have to do it twice.
Might have to. Might
That
have
joint
to.
was nice. Gotta do it twice.
Good evening, sir.
Oh yeah, it wants to do that.
There it goes. Hey, you catching up.
Oh yeah, you already know. Yeah, yeah. Focus on in here. Focus on in. Focus in.
There it goes.
Y'all.
It's got you. It's got you. Just can't run away.
Lord, what happened? The whole thing.
Oh, what'd you do?
Whole thing came undone tonight.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you know what's funny?
What's that?
This microphone right is very resemblant to someone's Boston Celtics.
It fell apart at the last minute just before it got going. Yep.
Undone tonight.
It's a sign. It's a sign. The end times are coming. But guess what? When you put it back on and you tighten it down, you tighten them screws back on again, she's going to work just like new.
I mean, is the Boston Celtics going to tighten up them screws?
Oh, yeah, they is. Oh, yeah, they is. They ain't going to get a free pass. There's no free passes in this room.
Are you sure? You sure?
Oh, yeah.
No free passes tonight. None? Zero?
No.
Zilch? Nada?
No.
Zip?
No.
Zip? Listen, y'all. What?
Jason Tatum being the leading scorer at 12 points in the second half at the start of the second half is not acceptable.
Look, y'all. It's Rise Up Late Night with your boy.
Trying to rough people up like Luka Doncic got roughed up the other night.
Y'all see this, right? Y'all see this? You see how I just keep cutting and keep cutting? Just look at this.
It knows better.
It want to spin. Oh, it knows better. The system knows better.
It knows better because it knows you're going to say something.
I just want to know. Shout out to
you're trying to say something slick. That's all you're trying to do. That's why it keeps cutting out on you.
I'm about to say something slick. Hold on, let me turn this. Let me turn that off for you. Well, hey, Will Richter.
Yes.
Hey, Will, can you tell me? Can you tonight? Can you please?
Can I explain it to you how everything went down and how I explained it to you earlier that it wouldn't matter if the Boston Celtics were standing 6 inches from a wall, they couldn't punch their way to a wall. They couldn't hit it even if they wanted to. Like, it's just one of those bad shooting nights. You can't. It's what can you do? It's a night. You have to be in a championship mentality. Yes, it's a closeout game. Yes, it's a chance to stomp on their throats, and yes, it's a chance to end it. But there were the understandings that most people thought this series would go 6 or 7 games. My questions were not just poor shooting. Boston's had a couple of nights where it's been poor shooting, but they've recovered fairly quickly. My concern is where was this Dallas Mavericks squad 3 games ago, 2 games ago, last game? I don't seem to understand where have they been? They just magically decided to show up for Game 4 and decide to put on a show at this point. The Mavericks showed up with desperation, and it showed. It showed in the level of effort. It showed in the level of desire to continue playing, and all the other things that you can tie into that. So I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not worried. It's one game. You have to win 3 more in a row in order to win the series. Dallas hasn't shown they can win more than 1 in a row right now. Boston went 38 days consecutive without losing till tonight. That's 10 NBA playoff games in a row that they've won. 10 since their last loss. So please explain to me that why I should be pulling the panic button on a team that lost 10 games. We were discussing this earlier, that's like 25 regular season games with spacing and everything else. Like 10 games in the NBA playoffs in a row, you've won them all. And you've won them all mostly by 8 points or more every game. You've won by 2 or 3 possessions every time minimum. There are games you've blown out teams by 20. What are we talking about? The Celtics can have a bad night shooting. It's a thing. We watched the Bulls teams back in the 90s have bad nights of shooting in the playoffs. They've done it. They might have lost a game. But what did they do? They came back the next night and they did what they needed to do. Well, Boston's going home on Monday. Little extra motivation now. Now you're home. Now you can raise the banner right then and there. I think that was kind of planned, and I think that the players kind of had that in mind more so than anything. I think that they were looking to finish this one as quick as could, but again, they figured to lose game 3, not game 4. So I don't think they were going to escape Dallas without a loss. I figured they were going to lose game 2, and then they're going to lose game 3 or game 4, and then it was going to go back 2-2, and then it was going to be a best-of-3 series. But that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. I'm not end of world. They're up 3-1. The odds are still extremely stacked against them because I believe anybody that's been down 3-1 has only been, one team in 157 tries has done that. One. So I'm a gambling man at times. My odds are still on the 99.4% that it's gonna happen the way it needs to happen. So, your thoughts?
Oh, you want my thoughts? My thoughts are the Boston Celtics have one of these games every series.
Mm-hmm.
Every single series, they have one of those games where it just doesn't go for them because they're a team that lives by the 3 and somewhat dies by the 3, if you ask me. Let's be very clear. Jason Tatum, how many points he had in
15.
15, 14. He took 10 shots tonight.
He was the best shooter at
15
halftime.
points, took 10 shots tonight.
He was the leading scorer at halftime.
That's an off night for him, though.
The leading scorer at the half.
I believe that. And guess what?
Derek White and Drew Holiday, a combined 2 for 17 in the first half. That's not going to happen on a consistent basis. That's just not. And even Derek White shot 1 for 6. Derek White in game 3 shot 1 for 6 to start, and he finished with like 9 of whatever, 9 of like 17 or something like this. He finished well. He got it back on the horse. It just didn't happen tonight. Nobody could just get a rhythm. That's all it was. There was just no momentum, and anytime they had open shots, they just weren't hitting them, and it just was what it was. And people have to understand that it's just what it is. There's no magical, they're so much better. Dallas is so much. Luka had 29. That's average. He had 25 at the half. He scored 4 more points in the third quarter, and that's all he did. Kyrie had 16 at the half. I think he finished with 21? So he had 5 more points at the end of the half. It happened to be just one of those nights that they just couldn't get a shoot. And it's just whatever it was. You guys got And in the whole fourth quarter, you saw the guys that play the role players, the Hausers, the Pritchards. Those guys got to put some points on the board and some empty stat sheet. But you know what? This is what I think of that. You look at guys like Hauser who were struggling in the first half. Let him get some confidence shooting and just taking some shots and getting back into that rhythm. You get Hauser going. You get Pritchard going where they've got a little more confidence in their shot. Those guys are going to be role players in the next game. They're going to be there. The starters are just going to just do what they do. They can have an off night and they'll get their stuff back together. But these role players, these guys coming off the bench, these extra reps didn't hurt them any. It actually probably gave them a boost of confidence that they can play in this game, and it is what it is.
All right, again, 10 shot attempts sounds like an off night. Jrue Holiday 10 shot attempts. Jaylen
When
Brown,
was the last time you saw Jaylen Brown go 3 for 12?
Shot attempts.
When was the last time you saw Jaylen Brown go 3 for 12 in a first half?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like it doesn't happen. So it's been a very long time. It probably was back in April was the last time he did something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'll tell you that much. I mean,
so like I said,
I was kind of shocked and surprised.
Look, Sam Hauser went 5.
I thought you told me they wanted to put this. Right. I thought you told me they wanted to finish this off tonight. They wanted to be done with it.
The idea is that they should have finished it off tonight. But again, you also let's look back to game 3 for a moment. Who has the motivation to come out in game 4 even more? Luka fouled out in his first ever playoff game ever in the 7 years or 6 years he's been in the league ever. He's only fouled out like 5 times in his career, but he fouled out in an NBA Finals game. Okay, so he's not mad at that. The whistles weren't being blown in game 3 like they weren't in game 2 or game 1. I don't expect them to be blowing in game 5 either. You look at Kyrie's performance. Kyrie has been
tell the world
up until now.
Tell the world, William, why. Tell the world why. The refs. Go ahead, call his name out.
Oh, you want me to explain why Scott Foster is the reason why the Boston Celtics lost? I can go conspiracy theory now.
Go ahead. The world is
because Boston has this thing with Scott Foster. Because Boston has this thing with Scott Foster. By the way, the record is now when the Boston Celtics play and Scott Foster in the NBA with playoffs and NBA Finals, when Scott Foster is the referee, and he's been being a referee for a very long time, the Boston Celtics are 70-64 now with Scott Foster. Scott Foster likes to blow a heavy whistle. He will call whistles all night long, and he will call for ticky-tack stuff. He will call for everything else. So understanding that both sides had to change, and Dallas just kept playing their game like they have been, and Boston was playing a heavier game where they were being more aggressive, more physical. Things didn't happen that way. Foster's calling Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Jrue Holiday all had 3 fouls before the end of the second quarter. Actually, Jrue Holiday had 4 fouls before the end of the second quarter, and Tatum and Brown all had 3 fouls before going into halftime. How's that going to be possible that that's going to be functional enough for you to come out in the second half and be aggressive and whatnot? Like I said, it's conspiracy theory nonsense. I'm not going to sell it to the referees that it's all the referees' fault. It's not. There's a ton of factors that come into play. Mostly the lack of good shooting from Boston tonight will be the key contributor. But again, I don't think that Boston's buying in. Go for it.
They lying or what? Wait a minute. Lying or what? By the way, William Victor didn't want to say laying an egg. He wants to tell y'all that Boston is not choking, okay?
They're not.
Is not
choking. It's one game. People are going to blow their minds and lose their lids and go, oh, they are a choke artist. They're losing again. They're going to do it just like they did to the Golden State Warriors and blah, 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 blah. The Golden State Warriors were down 2-1 in that series, and Golden State won. 2-1 is different than 3-0. Lot different. Drastically different. The odds, the way they were playing. And again, if I'm not mistaken, Draymond Green was suspended during one of those 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. So, because of one of the technical fouls he got in one of the games, he had to sit a game, and they lost that one too. So, it's a thing. I'm not, and again, these Dallas Mavericks are not the Golden State Warriors either. Played totally
So I
different
have a
style of
question for
basketball,
you, sir.
different
Why
style of
don't you
basketball.
talk about the Dallas Mavericks? So why don't you talk about why the Dallas Mavericks were successful tonight, sir? I heard
Well,
everything about the Boston Celtics from you.
okay. Well,
Their
here, I'll
putrid
tell you
shooting.
exactly why. I'll tell you exactly
Hmm.
why the Dallas Mavericks were good. Because the Dallas Mavericks didn't miss a goddamn thing. They didn't miss anything. Every time you turn around, they're hitting something. It didn't matter. It didn't matter where they were shooting from. Boston come down, score a bucket. They come back, score right one again. They didn't miss. Dallas in the last 3 games before this would have stretches where they'd go 3 to 5 minutes where they wouldn't score a bucket, especially in the second quarter or the third quarter. This is where Boston would, when Boston was down 13 the other night, they were down 13 or 15 or 18 or something like that at one point in the second quarter, and Boston brought it all the way back in real close to 13. And then Boston took it up over 21 in the third quarter because Dallas went cold. Dallas didn't go cold at any point in time tonight. Oh, and by the way, Kyrie got to his right hand pretty much whenever he felt like it. How about them apples? I'm not going to argue with that. That's defensive structure. That's whatever the case might be. That might be chasing zones and switching picks and trying to double team in spots and trying to do too much on the defensive side. And I think that's what you can see from that. But Luka was just hitting everything. Kyrie was hitting everything on a good clip. You had Lively getting involved. Lively was hitting big shots. They were getting the alley-oop game going. And again, up until tonight, they had 2 alley-oops. They have 6 now. That was their game, is above the rim. Throw it from half court, get it to Lively, get it to Luka, to whoever's catching it at the rim and putting it in the hole. Like that's their game, is that, and then Luka with his jump shot and being able to do that. Is Porzingis missing a thing? Maybe. Not all of it though, because Boston won without Porzingis in game 3. So is it really everything? No. Is Porzingis available tonight? Yes, he was available tonight. Was he going to play? Not when you're down 25. He's not. Now, I can see a scenario in game 5 if you're within 5 to 8 points and you're either up or down 5 to 8 points and you need those stops. Guess who's coming in at the end of the game? That would be Porzingis. Porzingis already knows that he can't do anything more because they had a brace ready for him. They had a special brace built for him, and he's been practicing in it for the last couple of days. He's ready to go. He's going to play. So he'll wear this brace if he needs to, and done. And so we'll see how that goes. But I don't trust the Dallas Mavericks offense at this point in time. Yes, they had a phenomenal game. Shooting lights out, got to put all their starters on the bench with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Everybody was scoring points. Everybody's having a good old time. Everybody's enjoying the shooting night that you were having. Your defense was a little bit more up tempo, and you were getting turnovers. You were getting the calls going your way and the things that were happening. Cool. My concern is, where was this in game 1, 2, and 3? If your offense and defense were capable of doing these things in 4, where were they in 1, 2, and 3? Especially in game 1 when Porzingis was there. Where was that offense? Because that game would have been a lot different had Porzingis had to play against that kind of Luka and that kind of Kyrie. That would have been a more entertaining game. And I think that's the kind of series that they were looking for, and people were looking for. So, like I said, I don't think Dallas is going to keep it sustainable. I don't see it. Dallas is going to be riding a high. These young cats is going to be running something different. Luka and Kyrie will be level-headed. Maybe PJ Washington will be level-headed, but I just don't know. I'm not buying the hype. It's one game. The Celtics, and let me put it to you this way. If the Celtics lost tonight and that's it, and they win in game 5, their record to get to a championship would be 16-3. 16-3 to get to a final championship. That sounds terrible compared to like 16-7 or 8 or 7-9. Like, come on, 16-9. That's like 2 or 3 losses every. Like, I'm just saying, think about it. Dallas has already got what, 3 losses, 2 losses, 2 losses. There's 7 right there, and then they've got 3 more right now. They got to go 16-10 to get in, to win it all. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. It's not consistent enough. Dallas's consistency is not there.
So this series is over in what, 5?
I said 6.
Now, with that being said, I will tell you this. Luka Doncic was able to get in the paint tonight whenever he felt like it. Boston's defense just was not there. I feel like Boston just got tired. That's all. I feel like when you win 10 games in a row in the playoffs, I feel like you're going to have one of those nights where you're just tired.
38.
I mean,
38 days in a row. 38 days in a row without a loss. 10 wins. 10 wins in a row. You swept the Pacers.
38 days in a row.
You had a bad game with the Pacers
tonight.
and still won. You had a bad game with the Pacers and still won that series. Every series you had a bad game. It's a thing. It happens. The Jordan's Bulls had bad games in the playoffs. They did. You don't remember them, but they do happen. And again, once Boston wins the title, it doesn't matter. And it does, and that's the other thing is people are stat stacking. They're worried about all the stats and the numbers and this and that. What really matters in sports? Dre, what really matters in sports? Wins and losses.
The wins.
And if you have enough wins to win a title, does it really matter? Yes. So all the stats mean nothing if you ain't winning nothing. Think about that. If you ain't winning nothing, the stats don't mean
shit. Yeah, I totally get it. But William, I'm gonna be honest. I gotta bring something up.
Go for it. Let's see what you got to throw at me.
I gotta bring something up to you. So
fancy monkey wrenches that you like to throw.
The Celtics won game 1, 107, scoring 107 points. Boston won game 2, scoring 105. Celtics win game 3, scoring 106. These are not what we would perceive to be very high scoring games. They kept the Mavericks to 89, 98, and 99 points in all 3 games. The last 2 games, game 2 and 3, they won by 7 points. Are you sure? Are you positively 100% sure that we are not seeing a swing in momentum when it comes to this series? Are you sure? Because the last 2 games, they won only by 7. It's not like they're blowing the Mavericks out. They're winning these games late. They're winning by 7.
Well,
7
here,
points.
Let's analyze game 3. Let's analyze game 3 again, because I remember, if correctly, Boston was up 21 at one point, and then they had that really ugly cold streak. They were up 21 in the 4th quarter, and they had a cold streak, and Dallas caught a little bit of heat and got back into it. So meanwhile, Boston is putting up the points. Boston was down 13 and could have wrote the game off just like they did tonight. Boston fought back, put up, and went up 21 by the end of the 3rd quarter. You're going to tell me that Boston can't put a run on together? Boston came out the start of the 3rd quarter in the last game, 7 of 9, and went 11 of 14 and had a 16-point lead midway through the 3rd quarter, and then 21 by the end of the 3rd quarter. And then all of a sudden they went cold because they put some of the bench guys in to give their starters a bit of a break. They went cold. Dallas climbed back in, got it to 2. The starters came back in and locked out the game, and they didn't get anywhere from there. So I'm telling you, what are you trying to imply? Are you trying to imply that Boston can't just hold a lead, or are you worried that Boston is just not defensively sound enough? Or what are we queuing at? What are we really queuing at, Mr. Robinson? What are we trying to poke at? What bear are we trying to prod to see what we can get out of? You're poking the bear. Poke the bear. See what you're going to get. Might get the claws.
maybe Jason Tatum and them just didn't have a good game. Or maybe Jason Kidd just made some adjustments. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
cool.
I think their adjustments too late. I think they should have made these adjustments after game 2 instead of letting it go 3-0, maybe. But maybe they made some adjustments. I'm just gonna say.
I'm just gonna say. So you're gonna sit there and go, "Hey, Joe Mazzulla is not gonna do nothing." You don't think Joe Mazzulla is just gonna sit there and just go, "Man,
Mazzulla might. He might
now
make some adjustments.
You just walked up and punched the bear in the mouth and said, "Okay, we're still here." Okay, bear's gonna look at you and go, "Okay, time to change plan." Now instead of just swinging paws at you to try to get you to stop, I'm just gonna maul you. Just be done. I'm just gonna go right for the throat and the jugular. I think you're gonna see a change. I think there's a possibility there's a change in the lineup. And I don't know that it's going to be good or bad, but you have an aging Al Horford who can't be putting that kind of minutes on the board.
3 points tonight.
Yeah. And again, if I'm Joe Mazzulla, I would consider switching out Al Horford for Tillman to start the game and have Horford come in off the bench when the rest of the guys come in, start rotating through Hauser and all the others. And Tillman has experience in playing, and he's done a fairly decent job with Luka. He's done a fairly decent job. He bodies him up well. He's willing to take a couple of fouls. You've not seen Kornet. You've not seen Kornet at all in the series. Why? Because he's just not used to playing the guys in the Western Conference. And I think that's why you're seeing that play out. So I would make a lineup change, but it's not like this drastic, no nonsense thing. Like, if I'm seeing things kind of get out of hand, I think you see Porzingis in small spins, and you probably see him 8 to 10 minutes on Monday night. And I think he makes a difference with a couple of blocks. It's that he doesn't have to put a boatload of points up. A few blocks, move up the field, gets an open shot, a couple of rebounds, little things. It's the little things that he does and can do, even if he's not completely mobile. If you can get him in there just for a couple minutes, it changes the momentum of the game, and it changes the way Kidd's now going to have to perceive it and put his lineup in there. And that little change is what Mazzulla can take advantage of and go around and do these things. So, like I said, there's going to be a lot of chess being played over the next 48 hours before Monday night. So we're going to see all sorts of things come to fruition. People are going to be talking all sorts of crazy talk.
All right. With that being said, I think we did very well for game 4. No sweep. Okay, maybe a gentleman's sweep coming up.
I didn't even pull my broom out. That's why. I didn't even pull the broom out of the closet. I didn't even bother because I'm like, it's a thing. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Where was your Boston Celtics jersey at?
In the laundry. It got dirt on it. It got some stuff on it the other day, so it'll get all cleaned up and get all that nasty stain of that loss off, and we'll go wash it and we'll get it cleaned up and ready to go for game 6. Game 5, game 6, we'll be ready to roll.
With that being said, yeah, we're gonna, when we come right back, we are going to talk some NFL talk. I got some things on the hot press waiting to be talked about. Actually, shout out to Marcus the Alphabets. Shout out to Marcus Alphabets and his phenomenal Alphabets Bits and his Alphabets football page on Facebook. Shout out to him for this one. We're gonna have a little fun with it when we return on Rise Up Late Night and play this nice commercial. We got to talking about coaches, so we're gonna play this commercial and be right back with y'all. The show. Gators! 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 Gators
team, man. We got a W to get. Let's go. You got one last week.
Coach, I can't play no basketball.
Don't ever say what you can't do. You already know. You got it just like the rest of them. Come on.
I can't even shoot no jumpers, Coach. I ain't even got no defense. Man, Coach, I'm just playing because everybody in school playing. I really can't play no basketball.
Man, you can't be serious, man. You see this basketball.
Now, by the way, that's all y'all getting right now. Y'all gonna have to go on the Facebook page to see the rest of that. All right, that's Coach. You know, we shot that a while ago, but at the same token, it has a great message, and it's basketball season, so I figured, you know, we play that for the young, you know, everybody that's tuned in watching. But you're gonna have to go see that on Facebook. I'm not giving that up just on the entire show. That's part of the commercial. You get part. William, tell them we giving them piece by piece, little snippet.
Absolutely.
And then they gotta go see it on the show. Gotta go see it on the page. Go see it.
Gotta go check it out.
Check that out for sure. NFL talk coming up right now. Listen, sir. I think this is your fault. You gotta take some ownership for this list, sir. This was you. This sounds like a you thing right here, or Will Bombard thing. I'm blaming somebody. All right, Dalton Smith. I know you was watching too. I'm blaming you. All that. I'm blaming you too.
Blaming all sorts of people tonight.
I feel like I need to blame.
Blame game. We playing the blame game. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we blaming somebody. Yes. We putting the blame on somebody tonight for this list. I don't care. Somebody gonna get it. Man. Well, listen. This list right here is just ridiculous. And I'm gonna have to show it to you guys so y'all can see firsthand what we talking about. I'm not doing no listing nothing. I ain't listing nothing. Here we go. You guys get to see this firsthand. Yep. Move it together. Yep. This is Will Richter's fault, y'all. This is his fault.
Ain't my fault.
Ain't my fault. Show it off.
I don't work for FanDuel.
Yes, it is.
They don't pay me nothing. They don't pay me for
ranking every team. Ranking every team's wide receiver number 2. Unreal.
Nope. I'm not buying half this list either.
So they have Jaden Waddle at number 1, Devonta Smith at number 2, Keenan Allen at number 3.
No, that's not true.
But okay. Yeah. Cooper Kupp 4. Nico Collins 5. Yeah. Deebo Samuel 6. T. Higgins 7. Calvin Ridley 8. Chris Godwin 9. Tyler Lockett 10. Jacoby Myers number 11.
First of all, Calvin Ridley's a 1 down in Tennessee because D Hop is the 2 at this point in his career. D Hop is a 2.
Hold on. Let me read some more of these. Jordan Addison, number 12. Mike Williams, 13. Curtis Samuel, 14. Adam Thielen, 15. Jerry Jeudy, 16. I'm going to stop right there.
Because Jerry Jeudy ain't even on the roster.
We're going to stop at the first half of this list. William. I told you somebody
broken
need to
clock is right twice a day. Sometimes this broken clock ain't right at all.
Somebody need to pull their whole belt off on you for this. I told you I'm blaming you or whoever it was.
You blame me if you want.
Somebody had some broken clock. You said broken clock is right twice a day. Nah, you had some broken vodkas. That ain't right at all. Ain't right
that one's
at all.
Spanish. This one's smashed. You can't tell what the numbers and letters look like on that thing. No.
I'm just
You got the first two right. The first two are okay. I'm okay with the first two being right where they are. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. It starts with 3.
Okay.
It starts with 3. I'm sorry. Keenan Allen is a liability.
What? So, whoa. William. Whoa. What?
When was the last time Keenan Allen played a full season? Oh wait, you can't answer that. So I'm gonna pass.
You know what his stats was last year? No.
Don't care.
No. Do you know what his stats was last year?
You know what they'd be like if he played 17 games?
His stats was last year.
You know what they'd be like if they played 17 games?
He probably had 1,600.
then let's see him play 17 games first. Let's see him play 17 games first.
But do you know what his stats was last year without playing 16? He damn near had 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. What? William, I cannot right now. A liability.
Deebo Samuel had better numbers. Deebo Samuel had better numbers. Jordan Addison had better numbers.
Oh, did he?
Hollywood.
Did he?
I'm pretty certain Deebo did.
Deebo Samuel had better numbers than who last year?
Keenan? I'm pretty certain he did.
See, here we go. And here's where I get to searching. Here's where it gets real. Nah, I'm not letting you off the hook today, sir. No. Sir.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Deebo Samuel had better numbers than who? Than Keenan Allen? No, sir. Deebo Samuel had 60 catches for 892 yards and 7 touchdowns, sir. That don't sound like better numbers than 8. Bro, he had 892 yards. They literally slipped him in this doggone list because of that season, because of 23 and 22. 22, he was hurt.
But we also know that Deebo Samuel also runs. He also runs and is more productive doing other things. He is the Swiss Army knife for that offense. Is he not? Because he's got 5 additional touchdowns for running, and he added another 300 yards. So that brings it right close up to that 1,200 yards.
William, I like how you put 225.
You want to argue minuscule things.
Yes, I do want to argue. Yes. I'm
and Nico Collins is Nico Collins really the second best wide receiver on the Texans now?
Is he?
I don't know. Is he?
Is he?
You tell me.
You don't think so?
Diggs, Nico Collins, and Menchie, and all them others out there. You tell me who's number 2 on that roster.
I cannot.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
Okay, sir. So since you want to do that, my man Nico Collins had better. Matter of fact, if we're being honest, watch this. If we're being honest and real, Nico Collins had better stats than Keenan Allen last year. By the way, folks, just so you know.
But again, where was Tank Dell had he got the
Nico Collins had 80 catches for 1,300 yards and touchdowns.
And technically, if they're basing this on last year's stats, Nico Collins was a 1 last year, and Tank Dell would have been the 2 by the time it's all said and done. With
do you know what Nico Collins' stats was the year before? Do you know what his stats was
the year before? He was all right.
The year before that,
he wasn't terrible. I didn't say anything about that. I'm just saying Nico was a 1 last year based on his.
481 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not bad for not having a quarterback there.
Interesting.
Not bad for having no quarterback there to throw it to him before C.J. Stroud.
Oh, that's real cute. I bet you half of y'all didn't even believe in C.J. Stroud yet. Now y'all want to say, not having a quarterback. How cute. That's very cute of you. I like how cute that is.
And I like how Cooper Kupp's behind Puka Nacua. That's fine.
Cute.
I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at Puka Nacua taking the lead over Cooper Kupp.
What was Cooper?
Cooper's number 4.
What was Cooper Kupp's?
Puka Nacua is the number 1 over there now.
Hold on. I ain't letting y'all get away with this mess. I cannot. You will not get away with that. Yeah. So I just like how Cooper Kupp literally had 5 touchdowns, which was tied for 35th in the league last year. 50th in yards with 737, and tied for 57th with 59 touchdowns, 59 catches, sir. And you told me who was a liability again?
Well, Cooper is also missing half the year too. So, but before that, you look at his previous years. Cooper's put up the numbers.
Cooper Kupp is better than. So Cooper Kupp is better than. So Cooper Kupp is better than Nico Collins. Right now, I'm not talking about the years before. Right now, he's better than Nico Collins. That's a hell no question. That's what that is. That's a hell no. No, he is not. Deebo Samuel. We just went over Deebo Samuel stats, right? Is Cooper Kupp better than Deebo Samuel right now?
No, Cooper's not better than Deebo.
Hell no.
He's not better than T. Higgins.
Matthew Stafford is his Stafford's his quarterback, right? Cooper Kupp?
Yep.
Okay,
he's got a good quarterback.
Samuel's quarterback is his quarterback is Mr. Irrelevant. Y'all didn't even believe it. Brock Purdy.
But again, Mr. Irrelevant's got to get paid, which means he's probably going to get traded before he gets a payday. Mr. Irrelevant going to get traded before he gets a payday.
Oh, he's getting traded before he gets
Guess what? The Raiders will buy. The Raiders will buy it. The Raiders do that. They like to buy the sloppy seconds off the Niners at times.
Wow.
Is Calvin Ridley behind DeAndre Hopkins in that Tennessee roster? Is he? And the way D-Hop is now in his career, at his stage in career. I'm not saying overall lifetime. I'm just saying in career right now, in this small window, is Calvin Ridley a 1 or a 2? I think he's a 1 in that receiver core, and D-Hop is a 2 because of the age. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that step slower.
Number 1, but okay.
That's like telling you Mike Thomas is still a number 1 somewhere. He's not. He's slow. He's not there. He's lost that step. He's not that guy. So that's what I'm saying. D-Hop lost that step. It's not a bad thing. I'm not bagging on the guy. The kid gets D-Hop doesn't drop balls. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying that in your lineup of positions, Calvin Ridley is that guy right now. That's why you brought him in. That's why you paid him all the big dollars. That's why you did what you did.
I'm not going to I'm knocking the Keenan Allen thing though. I'm knocking it.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is number 1.
Keenan is not that guy. DJ Moore is a 1, and Rome Odunze is the 2.
Lord have
Rome Odunze will be the 2 there.
Have mercy.
And that's why. Why do you think they drafted him? Because he's going to be a replacement. Tyler Lockett is not a 2 anymore in Seattle. That's going to be Jackson Smith and Jigba's job the second he walks away. Chris Godwin is a 2. That's fine. Jacoby Myers, the Raiders don't have anybody else to throw to. Behind. Jordan Addison's a 2.
Dennison Moore Jr.
Who?
Dennison Moore Jr. Dennison Moore Jr., which is DJ Moore, by the way. He played all 17 games, and he definitely racked up the stats. 13, 46, 8 touchdowns.
DJ Moore is a 1.
He definitely racked up the stats. Now, is DJ Moore a 1 only because he was the real only target in Chicago last year, or is he a 1 because
they had Cole Kmet? They had Cole Kmet last year. They had Chase Claypool for a bit of time. They had other targets there. They also had running backs that could come out of the backfield and catch the ball.
You named Chase Claypool. I cannot. Deborah Beatty says she happy with Deebo.
And again, we're also talking about Justin Fields here. We're also talking about Justin Fields, who is still questionable as a quarterback. So and this is my statement. Yeah, and I'm telling you, with somebody with bad back and bad knees, you don't want to be in cold weather because that shit just locks up real quick. That stuff, it makes it worse. It makes it hurt more. So as somebody who knows what joint ache and arthritis is, I get it. And a guy who's banged up his knees and got bad ankles and got bad tendons, you got to keep warm at all times. That's why I don't know why he went to the Bears, but it's what it is. I guess he wanted the payday. Yeah, the Raiders, that's their 2. I can't argue with that one. Jordan Addison, that's their 2. I'm not going to argue that one. Mike Williams, that's their 2. I'm not going to argue that one either. He's not a great 2.
Oh, no, I'm arguing the list. No. You are being very nice. I'm arguing the list. This is absolutely ridiculous. Jordan Addison should be higher.
No, above Jefferson.
Last year,
well, yes, but I'm saying as a 2, yes, Jordan Addison should be up there, but he is a 2. So I'm just verifying that these guys are actual 2s first. Before that, because some of these guys aren't actual 2s. Some of these guys aren't actual 2s. They're 1s in disguise. For some of these squads, they are, or 3s. Look at Carolina. Look at Carolina. You gonna tell me that Adam?
We didn't even get to the other side yet. Again, yeah, you got that one right. You surely got that right.
Jerry Jeudy doesn't even play with that
Jeudy,
spot.
16. I don't know.
I don't know when that offense. I don't know what he's going to look like. He had a terrible year last year. That's why he got let go. That's why you got replaced by Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin got drafted to replace you. There's a reason why.
Yeah, I don't like the list.
I don't agree with it. And I think Hollywood
Brown had a better year.
And this list was also put out before Rashee Rice did all the stupid stuff he did, I'm sure, because Hollywood Brown's going to be your new number 1 in Kansas City. Hollywood Brown's now the new number 1. You can argue that one if you want. I don't think.
No argument.
The rest of these guys, Chargers, I'm not sure that I guess I would put Josh Palmer there as the 2. I guess. Not much choice there. I'd argue Denver's with Marvin Mims. And I'd probably argue Pittsburgh's. Because at this point, they still have better guys than Roman Wilson. As much as Roman Wilson is a rookie, Roman Wilson hasn't played a snap in the NFL, and you're going to give him the number 2 spot. I'm not buying it.
Not I.
That's a rough list.
Not I. All right, let's move. Let's move to 17. 17 through 32. Brandon Cooks, 17. Hollywood Brown, 18. Brian Thomas hasn't even played. Christian Watson is really a 1 to me at Green Bay. Darnell Mooney, Jahad Dotson, Josh Downs, Darius Slay. Slay gives me 3 vibes, but okay. Rashid Shaheed, Joshua Palmer, Jameson Williams, Michael Wilson, Jalen Poe, Marvin Mims Jr., Rashad Bateman, and Roman Wilson.
I'm buying Brandon Cooks as the 2 there in Dallas. I'm buying that, and that sounds about right. CeeDee Lamb is that guy, so I'm not going to say no. Hollywood Brown is a 1. If Rashee Rice was there, I'd buy that, and then I'd say, that probably fits right about there because it's a slight upgrade, but it's not all that. Brian Thomas Jr. Again, Jags need a lot of wide receivers. I'm not sold on any of them. Romeo Dubes could be a 1. That's why I see that. That's probably why I'm saying Dubes is probably the 1 over Watson, even though I see it like you do. I think Watson is a 1 over Dubes personally, but I think they classify Dubes as that guy. Darnell Mooney is competing behind Drake London. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. Jahan Dotson behind Scary Terry, Josh Downs. Yep. Most of these guys, the only ones I'm arguing with are Marvin Mims and Darius Slayton and Roman Wilson. I'm not giving Roman Wilson with the Pittsburgh Steelers the number 2 spot yet. He hasn't earned it. He hasn't played a snap in the NFL. So I'm not buying it. The Patriots don't have any wide receivers, so that's why Jalen Polk is second.
Jalen. Polk. Yeah, that list was it was a fair list, I'll say, William. It was
It's
a
not
fair
terrible,
list. Wasn't not too bad. Not terrible. But it was all right, to say the least. Now,
I've seen worse.
real quick, I bet. Now, real quick, let's see. Perfect. Now, any more NFL news you got?
The Miami Dolphins signed a defensive tackle today.
Did
know
they?
who he is?
Who was that? Hopefully he
You don't
actually plays
remember?
defense.
You didn't see any of that news
Nope.
today? How are you?
No, I didn't see that. I was too busy doing other things. No,
Let me pull that
I
up.
did not at all. See? Yeah, pull that up, Bobby. Appreciate you, because I didn't
They
see
signed Calais Campbell. They signed Calais Campbell to a
Oh.
1-year deal.
Oh, not bad. Not bad pickup. Actually,
Nope.
pretty good pickup.
Trevor Lawrence signed his big contract deal today, officially.
Oh, yeah, the $275 million deal.
Yep. $200 million guaranteed,
You think Trevor
145
Lawrence
right at signing.
deserves that?
Huh?
You think Trevor Lawrence deserves that? Why not, William? Why not? Why does Trevor Lawrence not? Why doesn't Trevor?
Don't make me send you the slide. Don't make me send you the slide.
I've seen the
We'll do the
slide
compar-
already. That's why I'm trying to get you to go ahead and say
The
it.
comparison slide. Go ahead. Put up the comparison slide and tell me that he's not the same. Tell me he's worth that kind of money. Tell me he's worth that kind of money. The guy he's being compared to is making $15 million less per average year.
Go
And
ahead
still
and put
plays
it in
just
the Rise
terrible.
Up Family Sports Network. Go ahead. Go ahead and put it in there.
Oh, all right. Fine. Give me a minute. Find it.
Go ahead and put it in there.
Let me send it to you.
Yeah,
One
so
second.
it's on you. William has something to show y'all about Trevor. Okay, I already know what it is because I've seen it. But he can go ahead.
If you go look at the numbers of let me just give you the name and I'll give you some idea.
No. She give them the numbers first and then make them guess who that quarterback is. Give them the numbers and make them guess.
1 second.
It's hilarious to me. I'm just like, okay, interesting enough.
Drawing blank.
I should put on some. I should put on some Pink Panther music or Inspector Gadget. Hold on. You know what? We about to.
Yeah.
Right now, watch this.
1 second while I look for this real quick. I'll be right back.
Put on some Inspector Gadget. Did you find it? You found it? Nope. All right, we about to put it on here. Hold on. We about to put. Yeah, let's get it together. Tell me if y'all can hear this too. I gotta put it on in HQ for you. hear that? William. Let me unmute your mic. You gotta unmute your mic,
There you go.
sir.
Sorry, I thought I had it unmuted. I got it. It's
Hit the
fixed.
mute.
Sorry.
There it is.
So Trevor and this quarterback have played pretty much about the same games. Trevor's played a few less, but they've been in the league the same amount of time. So Trevor is 20-30. This QB that he's compared to is 22, 36, and 1. This other QB has a 64.3% completion percentage, whereas Trevor has 63.8. This other QB leads in total passing yards for 12,512 over 11,770. Trevor leads in passing yards on average at 6.7 versus 6.6. Passing yards per game, he leads 235.4. Trevor does over this other QB at 208.5. This other QB leads in touchdowns with 62 over Trevor's 58. Trevor has one less INT than this guy with 39 versus 40. And in QBR, rushing attempts, rush yards on average, rushing touchdowns, this other quarterback leads in all other categories. Anybody got any guesses? Oh, and head-to-head, Trevor.
Go ahead, and I'm looking in the comment section for you guys.
And by the way, Trevor has lost to this person. He is 0-1 to this quarterback.
Oh, that's an extra.
To make matters worse in a head-to-head matchup.
Tomato cans.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them.
Go ahead and throw them at him. Tomato cans. Terrible. Terrible.
Anything in there?
Wow.
Anything in the comments?
Wow. And I think this quarterback has some of the worst NFL records. I didn't see any in the comment section at all. I think they really thinking about it.
I hope so.
But can't
guess it. They're gonna be sadly disappointed once they figure it out.
By the way, the call line is up there. Absolutely. 716-954-5209. You could call too. Bang the line if you want. Before we go on commercial. We're going on one more commercial. Football commercial. See, I got football commercials too.
Throw your guesses out there.
Say Lady Predators.
How much longer you won't give them?
I'm gonna give them 1 minute.
Okay.
1 solid minute. Let's see. One solid. I should have played that Inspector Gadget music again. Just to see. What? Hold up. I think we might have. Oh, you put any guesses? I was about to say.
Nope, I wrote up any guesses.
I thought somebody might have a guess.
Nope.
Right, yeah, I see that.
By the way, this quarterback is getting paid $15 million per year on average, less than Trevor on his contract right now.
And I don't even think he deserved that $15 million less either.
He should be about $30 million less. Should be on backup money.
Right. I think you could thank a certain player for his contract. So
who's no longer even there now?
All right, well,
he's not even there. He's not even there no more.
I think we get.
You good?
Nope, he ain't. All right. No guesses. All right.
All right.
The answer, folks, is none other than
Daniel Jones.
one.
Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes is just as good, if not better, in most statistical categories than Trevor Lawrence. Please explain this to me.
I'm just trying to figure that out.
And this is why dysfunctional organizations.
Like, how do you have?
This is why dysfunctional organizations struggle. This is why the New York Giants have been third or fourth in every year for the last 20 years, minus the 2 Super Bowls they've been to, where they beat Brady. Other than that, they've been third or fourth in their division every single year. Why do you think Jacksonville, other than a 1 run to the AFC title, oh, and that was with Blake Bortles, have not done anything since they've had Trevor Lawrence on the field?
That really is
just saying.
Blake Bortles. Where has he been? Bortles is
backing up somebody. He's still in the league, floating around somewhere. He's still got a gig.
Wow.
Just like Nathan Peterman.
All right,
he's
now with that being, said, we're gonna go to a quick commercial again. And then when we come back, we'll talk a little WNBA talk too when we come right back.
Middle linebacker, Shayna. I don't want to see shit all over the middle. Get that from me. Sorry, that was all the way. We haven't fun. This what the fuck fun look like. We having fun.
Hey, ladies, watch the ball.
All right, folks. Now, in order to see the rest of that, you're just gonna have to go on the page again. Like I said, go on the page. All right, go on the page and look us up. Nevertheless, all right. Upstate Lady Predators play tomorrow against the Maine Mayhem. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. will be an exciting time. All right. Make sure y'all tune into that because the feed will be live. It will be a live feed of the game. All right. even better than last week's feed. So now, William, you've been here for football. You've been here
Don't
for
do it.
NBA and the WNBA. And I'm telling you that this is your fault too.
Sure, why
You're taking
not?
a lot of
Screw
blame tonight.
Screw it. One. I got broad shoulders. I'll take it.
Thank you for coming on too. We appreciate you for coming. This right here, sir. Yeah, this is not gonna be for the fan of part for you, sir. You don't have to explain a lot of this, sir.
I ain't got to explain nothing.
It's your fault.
We're playing. Should be self-explanatory.
We are playing it. It's your fault today. Oh, by the way. That lady right there is very marketable.
Yes. Why are we not marketing? I don't know.
Yeah. She is right now.
Yep.
Among rookies.
Yep.
First
points, rebounds, steals. I believe
first
she's leading in
offensive
assists.
rating, first in win shares, first in doubles, rookie of the month is in the driver's seat for rookie of the year. How many people agree with that statement? Do you believe that she should be rookie of the year? William, do you believe that? You believe she should be rookie of the year?
Sure, why not? I'm not going to downplay it. Why not? There's not much to argue with the WNBA at this point. Like,
let me add rebound. Brianna.
Yeah. And again, a lot of these things
not
are
much
just
to argue.
No, not a lot of these things are. You're not going to argue Diana Taurasi anything. You're just not. She's a great. You're not going to argue anything that's wrong with what's going on with that. As for Angel Reese winning Rookie of the Year,
Sure. Okay. A lot of people argue Diana Taurasi right now and got a lot of bad things to say about who's playing basketball at 40, still doing her thing. Diana
still getting it done though.
Taurasi.
She made the Olympic
21
team.
games with 20 or more points at age 4.
Here, I'll put it you this way: you're gonna yank Taurasi off and stick who on? Do you understand? Do you understand why Diana Taurasi got on the Olympic team? It's the same reason Larry Bird got on. Still deadly, still dangerous. When he made the 92 Dream Team, when Birdman made the 92 Dream Team, and he was struggling, it's the end of his career. He could still put up points. He could still shoot at the end of nowhere. He could still do the things he needed to do. Diana Taurasi is the same thing. She can still shoot. She can still rebound. She can still do the things she needs to do. She can get up and down the floor. She's just not expected to do as much because there's a younger crowd and they can carry it. And she can come off the bench or she can start. It doesn't matter. She's earned that right. So.
I want to skip this comment. I want to skip this because this.
Then let's
nope,
do that.
I'm not.
Because it's not worth it. Don't waste your time.
I'm not going to skip it. Right. It Will said, "Don't waste your time. Don't fall into the temptation." That's what you said, Will.
Just keep scrolling on up. Just scroll on up and move to the next one. Let's go. Just I don't have time for drama.
Oh, all right. I'm scrolling up. Oh, look at that.
Look, we're
Look
on.
at this.
Are we trying to do like that Spaceball thing? Are we trying to do like that Spaceball thing? When is it coming? Now, soon. Man,
No time for the drama. Look at the scrolling up. All right. Well, rookie power. Nope. Rookie power rankings right here, as you can see. That sports group.
Don't ask me because I don't know.
Long about wrestling, by the way.
I'm not going to argue with it because I don't know nothing. I don't watch. I'm too invested. I got a squad looking for Banner 18 that I'm more interested in at this point. So I'm good. I'll pass this to you. You can do what you do.
Kevin, what up? That's right. There you go. Angel Reese, number 1. Caitlin Clark, number 2. Rakita Jackson, number 3. Cameron Britt rankings. You can decide, but I agree with them. I actually last week said Caitlin Clark should be number 1, but Angel Reese has definitely been putting on double after double the last month, so I'm going to agree with these. What I will say is, though, Angel, you're not getting away with the Sky keep losing games, though. Okay, I'm gonna be one to call it out because I got to be fair across the board. Your team been losing. You might be doing a good job doing all this stuff, but your team is taking L's. Okay, y'all 4-8 this year. Y'all are 2 losses off from the Indiana Fever, who actually won today. All right, don't get it confused. I'm on y'all for real. Y'all played against the Mystics. Mystics have won 2 games in a row. Y'all lost to the Mystics today by 2. It was a close game for those who watched. I'm talking about real basketball, okay? Real hard-nosed basketball was what we watched with Chicago and Washington. Really good game. Next one. I feel like this saga continues to get worse and worse as the saga progresses.
By the way, I looked up at the numbers. There's nobody I'm pulling off that Canadian national team. Not for her. Not at this point.
Listen, I do not understand it for the life of me.
I'm not pulling one of these guys off. I'm not. They're all homegrown talent. They're playing well. Most of them are averaging 10 to 12 points or more for the lower end. The others are averaging between 15 and 18, and they're all coming from universities and colleges, and a couple of them are playing in the WNBA. So I'm not pulling anybody out of there. I'm not. She's not Canadian. It's part of the rules. They're writing out for a waiver process. That's why they reached out, and they thought it would be cute to see if they can get the waiver process through. It's not going to happen. And so I'm not buying it.
It's just getting more and more ridiculous.
You know what the best part about these slides is? The end.
The best part about them slides. The end of the.
I was waiting for that.
Probably
Trying to get my Muppet jokes in while I can.
Whatsoever. But I mean, it was a nice try. This one right here. Oh yeah. This is something that I talked about last week. I talked about this last week. Miss Aaliyah Boston getting back to top form and ride her and Kelsey Mitchell instead of Caitlin Clark shooting too much. Interesting. Hashtag WNBA. Interesting. Because I spoke on this last week. There is something that I definitely need to bring up. I saw on social media this past week where someone decided that it would be very irresponsible to make a video on YouTube for clickbait, by the way, saying that Christy Sides is sabotaging Caitlin Clark. I feel that is so disingenuous and so irresponsible. It's crazy to me. And here's why. We can refer this to the NBA. This would be like Joe Mazzulla trying to sabotage, let's say, for all sake and purposes, Derek White, right? You do realize when you say certain things as such, number one, in order for him to be sabotaging Derek White, or for Christy Sides in this case to be sabotaging Caitlin Clark, she would have to be sabotaging the entire Indiana Fever organization, for one.
I was going to say it'd be like putting Derek Lively under the bus with Jason Kidd, more likely. It would be a better case scenario to explain that. Like having Derek Lively get tossed under the bus every time.
Been a good. Like, I just don't understand from a coaching aspect. If you've ever coached basketball, then you would know this first and foremost. Or if you even did research, even just on Christy Sides alone, you would know that Christy Sides' first head coaching job, is this one. This is Christy Sides' first head coaching job. It was even in this video, which is crazy. Yeah, I'm just laughing. I'm like, okay, you literally just put up the fact that she's an inexperienced coach. She's never head coached nowhere, and this is her first gig. So number one, for her to sabotage.
She does have 12 years on the bench. She does have 12 years of bench experience. So
as an assistant
on the bench as various positions and roles. So I understand why they brought her in as a fresh set of eyes. But it's the growing pains of a rookie coach too, along with some veterans and stuff. It's a growing pains thing. You had this early when you had it last year when Joe Mazzulla stepped in and kind of had to cover a few times to do various things and whatnot. Mazzulla stepped in when whoever got suspended, and there are levels to this where these guys can step in a pinch and do things and run the show and get that feel. Look, Coach K's replacement spent 13 years on the bench after he graduated Duke, played 2 years in the NBA, and said, "No, I'm good." Like he came back and he went back to the coaching bench and sat there, learned from Coach K, and now he's the coach. Like you don't have to be a head coach to be there. You just have to have the knowledge and the understanding. Do you understand the program, what it's trying to do, what it's trying to accomplish, setting the goals and limitations? And again, you're also trying to teach a young up and coming star how to be a basketball player at the next level, along with trying to keep everybody else under control, learning how to deal with media, learning how to deal with the press and the questions and the nagging concerns and the banter and all the other things, and then keeping this team cohesive and all in one tact. So there's a lot of factors going in that things are just being spread like wildfire for no good reason, and it's to each their own. But I would be more cautious when speaking about things like this. That's all. That's why I choose not to chime in, because it's not my place. I don't have all the information, but speaking from somebody from experience, I know what it's like.
Right. So Christy Sides is inexperienced, obviously, as a head coach. She's been on the bench, correct, as an assistant for 12 years. If you know anything about coaching, you would know right off the jump. It is a mountain to climb, especially when you got a new team and you're trying to cohesively gel 12, 13 players together, especially new players too that's coming aboard, young, fresh players, second-year players as well. Getting back to the sabotaging thing, in order for Christy Sides to be sabotaging Caitlin Clark, that means she would be sabotaging herself as well. So that's number two, right off the jump. She would be sabotaging it, and then she would be sabotaging herself. Not only would she be sabotaging herself, but then she's sabotaging her job and the organization and everything else that comes with it. I think people need to really, 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 really be a lot more responsible before they come out and start putting out these clickbait videos. And I called him out on YouTube for it, by the way, because I was highly appalled by the video. I'm just like, dude, you literally sat here and tried to piece up a bunch of junk to really to really give the general public a false sense of something that just isn't. She's not trying to sabotage Caitlin Clark. Putting her on a bench for lack of effort is not her sabotaging Caitlin Clark. That's her getting her team together and saying, hey, in order to play, you got to play defense, which Caitlin Clark does not do at all, to be honest. And more effort, yeah. As a coach, I don't care if I'm a first-year coach or not. I want effort from every one of my players, and that's that. Have we seen Caitlin Clark with attitude problems too? Sure, we have, and everybody should know this if you watch. If you're not a casual, you would know this as well. Caitlin Clark has a lot to polish up. She is a phenomenal talent, but she has things to polish up. Her game, defense, for one. 2, being able to have a legitimate mid-range. 3, being able to go to the basket consistently. And 4, stop being a crybaby when things don't go your way.
Does this sound like somebody familiar we just watched this evening? Does this sound like somebody familiar who's been in the league for a few years? He wears number 77 on that Dallas Mavericks. It's exactly the same kind of player. It got tons of talent, got tons of potential, defensive liability. Absolutely can control the basket, control the bucket, can shoot from anywhere, can do the things, can make the passes, can do all that. More polishing. She is a very unpolished, what would be Luka, would be a good comparison base-wise to understand what Luka's doing 4 years later, 5 years later, where Luka still hasn't learned how to polish his game to get defense added in to be an all-round player. Where Luka is literally all offense, and what little defense he gives, he's very much a liability on it, and you could see it every night. That's why he's getting burned by. Like everybody's running right by him. Why? Because he's a liability.
Don't they have a stat on him for blow-bys right now?
Yeah, he is like one of the he's like second, like it's like 38% blow-by percentage or something like that. Like almost half the league can just do whatever they want. Like he's giving up a ton of blow-bys. Just people just run right by him, no questions on average. So like there's this kind of stats, and you look at it and go, he's he's a semi-polished NBA player, and he still has the same issues as Caitlin Clark in her first year. She's dealing with how to drive, how to deal with things, lose the temper. Look, game 3, you saw it. Luka had temper everywhere, yelling, screaming, cursing at the refs, trying to get something out of them. It's the same stuff Caitlin's doing right now. It's the same stuff. So, like I said, some players are built that way, and that's what it is. Some are just going to be a defensive liability. So what you as a coach have to do is figure out who I can put around to mask that enough that I can fix that in small increments. How can I do that? Can I get her to learn how to do zone? Can I get her to learn how to play man-to-man up to a point, and we play like a man/zone thing, or like some kind of hybrid defense where we can pass her off to people, and then they can cover up, and then she can rotate out and roll around and try to get to somebody who's not who's less likely to shoot or less likely to be aggressive going to the bucket and things like. So there's ways to cover that up and ways to work around that, but she has to be willing to learn all those things. That's the other thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Aaliyah Boston, I mean, Aaliyah Boston was Rookie of the Year last year. For those who watched WNBA or don't watch WNBA, she was the Rookie of the Year last year. In the beginning of this year, she literally had to take her social media off because, you know, they were sending her inappropriate messages and comments about her game because she's playing with Caitlin Clark. And now all of a sudden, you see Kelsey Mitchell as well, who averaged 18 points last year for the same Indiana team. Now they're like, hey, let's ride Aaliyah Boston. Let's ride Kelsey Mitchell and make Caitlin Clark like a third option, which I don't think is a bad thing because the Fever are winning basketball games. It almost reminds me of let's get back to what works and forget stats. Sound familiar? Stephon Diggs and the Buffalo Bills last year when Joe Brady became coordinator. Sounds very familiar to me. So it's good to see Aaliyah Boston doing her thing. It's good to see Kelsey Mitchell getting back to form too, because Nalissa Smith also averaged 15 last year for this same exact team too. And they definitely were on the decline as Caitlin Clark was averaging 16, and people are just talking and they're losing games, and you've seen a whole heap of stuff. One game she'll have 30, the next she'll have 8. And then she's giving up like tons of turnovers. Will Lumumbar, what's up? Tamika, what up? Don, what up? Anthony Heath, what up? Shout out to you, sir. Kevin Sampson, what up? Keisha Page, Carlton, Roberts, what up? Liz Barnes, what's good? All right. So good to see Fever start. We talked about this too. Rookie of the year candidate right now. Who would you pick? Everybody so far that was in the comment section put Angel right now. You got Cameron Brink. You got Rickea Jackson. I don't even think Rickea Jackson has played that much. Kate Martin is a bench player. She averages 11, which is nice. Angel Reese averages a double-double. She's averaging 12 and 10. Aaliyah Edwards for the Mystics. They just won their first 2 games this year. Caitlin Clark is averaging 15.6. Cameron Britt is doing a nice job, about 8 points a game, but I wouldn't give her Rookie of the Year off that. I honestly think it's between these two.
Mm-hmm.
Between Caitlin or Angel. Again, continue and keep up the controversy that is. Oh, yeah, by the way, they play coming up this week again for the second time. They'll be playing in Indiana coming up again. For the second time. Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. That's all I have for WNBA news for now.
We escaped.
All right. Wow.
We escaped. We out. That's right.
I cannot. We escaped. Hey, listen. Yeah, make sure
without this
I support this tomorrow. No, you didn't escape the yeet down. Y'all caught that yeet down tonight. I don't know. William. So real quick before we go. Yeah, before we go, I gotta ask you just one question. What happens if Dallas wins game 5?
Now, here's 2 questions for you to respond to your question.
Go ahead.
The first one, is it a blowout or is it a close game?
I think
second question
will be a close one.
Okay. Who gets hurt if they lose? Because that's what I'm asking. In a close game, who's going to be hurt that's going to cost them the game?
Oh, so somebody from Boston need to be hurt in order for Dallas to win this game?
I think this next one, yeah. I think Boston's going to come out with their hair on fire just like Dallas did tonight. I think Boston's going to show them here. You want to go up? You want to go up 30? We can do it too. Watch this. And then Boston is a whole nother animal. That Parquet is a whole nother monster. They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that yet. They ain't seen what Boston looked like now with something on the line. They ain't been there before. Paul Pierce is going to be there. Ray Allen's going to be there. KG's going to be there. Shaq going to be there. These boys going to have everybody in the house come Monday night. I'm telling you, it's a whole nother animal.
So they're going to burn Boston down come Monday.
Boston can do one of 2 things. Win a close one, win a nail scratcher, or they can do the same thing that happened to them in game 4. Come out and just yeet down and just end it and just put it away and put their starters on the bench at the start of the 4th quarter and call it a day too. And that way, all they have to do is just sit there and jump and jive. I don't think that the second one is going to happen. I think it'll be a closer game than most. I think this one will probably be just like all the others. I think it will probably be anywhere between 6 and 10 points, like most of the stat lines call. It's probably about 6 to 10 points. Porzingis will have a play or two that will define the game.
You don't need your thirst quenched.
Huh?
You need your thirst quenched. You need to quench your thirst for the Boston Celtics to win this championship. You need your
Number
thirst,
18 has got to happen. Because you know what? Because Buffalo ain't getting me one anytime soon at this rate. And my Sabres ain't getting me anything either. And the Braves are down this year. So I got to get a hat and t-shirt from somewhere. Can't get new gear sitting here just waiting for champions. They don't come easy. I didn't break out the broom because I didn't think there was a broom needed to be broke out. I could have stood there in my living room with a broom coming sweeping, but I would have been sweeping for the wrong team at that point. We were getting swept out that building, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm not buying anything. I said Boston could win it in 6. So even if they lose game 5, yes, there will be time to pause, but there'll also be a lot of reflection. What happened? Is it the continued shooting woes? Are people not getting shots to fall? Because look, if you look at tonight's game, look at all the shots that they did have. A lot were in and out. A lot hit the rim, had a chance to fall in, rolled out. There were some that went around a couple times, popped out, just like Dallas had the previous couple of games before that. Boston just couldn't get something to fall. If they could get something to consistently fall, it's a different story. It's just the luck of the draw. It's what it is. It's a bad night. I'm not going to say anything more. It's not worth it. Chalk it up. Coach is going to have his game plan. He's either going to ride them hard and just keep pasting on, putting the film on and going, this is where you messed up. This is where you messed up. This is where you messed up. We need this. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. Or he's just going to go burn the tape right in front of him, throw it in a trash can and go, anomaly. You just went 10-0 before this. Let's get back to that kind of basketball. Okay, and let's do that. And then they do their thing and then come out and handle business. It's one of two ways. There's no choice. You either win or you don't. Like at this point, there is no, oh well, we'll get second, third, and fourth chances. No, you got only a couple more chances to get this right. So we'll see. We'll see who holds up.
Monday night, we will be back on Rise Up Late Night right after Game 5, by the way. Rise Up Late Night will be back on right after Game 5 on Monday night. Wrestling fans, watch Clash at the Castle tomorrow. Clash at the Castle tomorrow. Interesting.
That's an early start for me. God damn it. That's an early start for me out here.
You're right. That's early. Early as hell, 11 a.m.
I got to be up at like 9 a.m. just to start catching the pre-show. Starts at 11 out here. I'm like, ugh. I got to get out of bed early. It's a weekend.
For sure.
You ain't supposed to do nothing on the weekend.
It's a weekend. Gotta get up. And I got to, that's things tomorrow. I'll be in Rochester. No, I won't. Maybe.
I got to go tune in and catch SmackDown here in a few minutes and catch up and see what's going on with
that. You know what's funny? I'm about to go catch that same yeet down right now. Shout out to everybody that was tuned in. Thank you for tuning in to Rise Up Late Night. We made this look good, William. 1:30. That's a good time. Perfect time. All right, with that being said.
Not bad. 1:40. Not terrible.
Again,
better than them 6 hour run. Better than them 6 hour run we did. We ain't that young no more. We ain't that young.
Yeah, I know.
We ain't that young.
6 hour running all night. Man, one of them all night sports parties. Listen, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Will Richter, always off the Richter scale. Love when he comes on because that's what I get I get to relax, chill out a little bit, get to listen a little bit. Will Richter is so analytical with his thing. I tell you, and Mr. Analytics is back, by the way. Mr. Analytics. I give him all props and credit. Marcus, next time bring your ass on the show. I know a bunch of rental.
He had some personal things he had to deal with, so that's why he's out.
I know he up there getting the bag. I know. Get that bag, Alphabets. I see you. Get that bag, Alphabets. I see you, my guy. With that being said, we'll see y'all soon. All right.
Yep.